There are a lot of pains and horrors in life, challenges that alter the very way in which you live, sadness that mars the soul, anguish that makes you question existence, things that make no sense, things that make you wonder about the world and why it is the way it is. It's so easy to become nihilistic, to think that nothing matters, that the world is unredeemable. It's easier still to get angry at the plight that befalls those that love you, those you don't know, those that live on this rock falling through space with you, to scream that it's not right, that you don't want this, that you don't want to be part of some simulation, some game created by gods, some notion of infinity that has so much pain and so much horror to it. Where people murder children or countries leave them in famine, where wars seem endless and those in charge seem giddy at the prospect of causing them, where people make profits on death instead of life, it's very easy to get caught up in all that is happening in the world and just say enough is enough. I don't want any part of it. And yet to do that, to decide that the world is irredeemable, that life is nothing but pain and sorrow and loss, is truly losing yourself in the story. It's losing yourself to your own beliefs of the world, your own beliefs of existence, your own beliefs about everything and anything, all over an identity that isn't yours, over a reality that isn't real. It is you raging, not because what is happening is good or bad, right or wrong, happy or miserable, for you can find people who truly believe the greatness in all the horror that you abhor. Religious zealots who scream that the war is the sign of the second coming of Christ and wait excitedly for more death and destruction. Politicians who claim the world is great, even while their own constituents struggle every day and beg for help. Thus, everything is a matter of perspective. Everything that dissatisfies you with the world comes not from the horror of what is happening, but from you associating it with the beliefs of right and wrong, good and evil, and every other value judgment you've created over the years, and no true idea of where these beliefs come from, but rather accepting them as true because you have them and you believe them. Because in truth, you are not seeing the world for what it is, but for how it lives up to what you believe it should be. Seeing the world through the dissatisfaction and pain that you believe you are experiencing, and because of that, you constantly and consistently are disappointed. The desire for things to be different from what they are, the inability to accept life for what it is, destroys in every person the ability to appreciate life in the here and now. It is our minds that are so easily swayed to see what we don't like, to use dissatisfaction and fear and anger to motivate us to action, rather than love and desire to lead us to transformation. We know what we don't want in life, but rarely are we able to say what we do. When you know what you truly want, know what positive you actually wish to capture, without decrying and anguishing over every cruel and misbegotten act that stands in contrast to this desire, instead of reacting to everything, instead of looking at everything of what you don't want for life in the world, look at the world for what you want. Look at what you want as what you are, and be. Because that's all you can ever do, is be. For when you embody what you want, truly being the positive of what you want allows you to live fully in that moment, to be, which is all you can ever do. Understanding the playfulness of existence and not taking it so damn seriously, because that's where the problem truly lies. We take life so damn seriously all the time, and we suffer so much for it. We take seriously what was supposed to be fun, and we then suffer. G.K. Chesterton once quipped that the angels fly because they take themselves lightly. And yet here we are upon this earth, atoms cloistered together in the quadrillions, none of which will ever die, all of which each year or so are fully replaced and switched out. And we live believing that this sense of self and existence is the truth of reality, that our lives are real and that death is right around the corner, assembled by nearly endless particles made by energy that's existed since the beginning of time, and we spend so much of existence worried, thinking that everything that happened to us and around us must be taken very seriously, that every bit of pain and horror and violence and death is somehow very different from everything else that's happened in the universe to the date, that because we're aware of it, it then must be bad, it must be hard, it must be stopped. Solar eruptions eat planets, black holes capture even light in its gravitational pull, extinctions, destructions, and transformations have marked the entire history of life on this planet, all of which has led to you. You, existing right here and right now, and trying so hard to judge and bring morals and thoughts to a universe that has functioned without your morality or thoughts for all of existence, for which will go on long after the sun has eaten the earth in which you have inhabited, and your morals and thoughts have long passed into dust. Everything feels like life and death, when in truth there is no death, and there is no birth, and there is only ever consciousness. Consciousness which unites us, consciousness which we arise from. Everything is what it is. Reality taking shape and form. Life being experienced and lived moment by moment by moment. No past, no future, only now. Everything taking shape, and all of reality manifesting in an instant. Devoid of meaningless denouements that our minds look so haplessly for at every moment. We desire resolution, and thus we turn life into a story in which we can have resolution. We desire judgment, and so we judge every action by our own beliefs and make ourselves miserable in the process. The truth of existence is that we are the infinite. That infinite has no beginning or end. That all you experience is matter and energy taking shape and form in a constant swirling of creation. Reality is always taking shape in front of you. It is only the ego that needs to give it meaning. Only the ego that needs to give it purpose. But never is it truly those meanings or that purpose. Existence is but a constant, always rising from the infinite at every instant, at every possible variation, at every plank second of existence. It is in this infinite, this oneness, this non-dual reality for which all can experience, that you can find the truth to your existence, to your reality, to your life. You are not some miserable being living on a rock, falling through space, who somehow has ended up having to pay for their survival. The world isn't evil, and you are not broken. You are not a born sinner, imperfect and flawed by mere existence, nor do you become one. These are all just thoughts and beliefs heaped on by culture. You are the one truth that can be universally experienced by all, one with all things, non-separate and non-dual. There is no tomorrow and no yesterday, only the now. And you are this now. You have always been this now, and you will always be this now. Perfect and complete.